Hey guys, so this is the sketchbook that I completed last year for my art class, and it was actually like the first art class that I ever took at this school, so it was kind of exciting in that way. But it was basically like a class that was mainly focused on like using your sketchbook with different types of mediums. This was also a half-year class, which is only one semester, so we only worked on this sketchbook for like half a year. Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to join this sketchbook with the one that I did completed this year, and yeah. So actually one of the very first projects that we did was decorate the front cover, and she's a little bit battered up. She's a little bit in need of a surgery, but that's fine. The roses are like definitely very smushed, and basically I had no idea what to do, and I was like looking for stuff in my house because basically the prompt was like, oh, you have to like bring stuff in from your home to decorate the front cover in a way that's like meaningful to you. Girl, nothing about chains and roses are meaningful to me, I'm sorry. I did use like this tan sort of cover in the background because it was the only one that I thought looked nice with like the blue roses. Say I didn't do the best on that assignment because there's like no prompt, but she said that she liked how the chains were like leading this way, so like I'll take that. Oh, I think I also did like the inside covers. Wait, that actually looks good. Okay, this is like for a project that'll come later on. I'll show it when we get there. So this is the first page of the sketchbook, and basically this is like the very first day of school too, and she's just like, oh yeah, like draw something that like correlates with what you did over summer. And I think that summer I like traveled a lot, so yeah, I drew like travels or pictures from like the places that I've been to. I use like this colored pencil thing that actually looks really cool. Then this paper airplane on the bottom, it's like an actual airplane shadow, if that makes any sense. And then basically in the class, like every day we'd have like 10 minutes to work on like, call them like these little exercises, I guess, or like warm-ups. And basically like each day you would add like a new element to your warm-up. This is the very first one that we did. Okay, moving on. This is like some perspective exercise. I low-key forget the project that we did with this, but I think we were just learning it. Oh my god, okay, this has like a really funny story behind it. So this is like the very first official project that we did in the class. It's like this little identity piece. Basically we were supposed to draw ourselves and then like a bunch of stuff that represent us. This is me, except it doesn't look like me at all. I actually hate this piece, fun fact. But it turns out that my art teacher loved this piece, and she put it into like a bunch of school presentations that were seen by everyone, and I didn't know about that until my friend like took a picture and like pointed it out to me one day, so that's kind of funny. This is how it looks. I added like some flags, the YouTube logo for you guys, makeup, drawing, cards, because I was really into like playing card games at that time, drama or like theater, I guess, because I was doing the school musical, writing, music, piano, because I took piano lessons at that time, coffee, love of my life. And yeah, I really like how this looks. I love how I added like the little tissue paper for more texture, but yeah. Bro, why is like the ink so smudged? Okay, another like warm-up. After that, basically in the class, anything that you did outside of what was required would be counted as extra credit. I think I did this originally, but then I was like too scared to show it to her because I was like, oh, this is so cringy. I originally was just drawing eyes because I was bored that day and I didn't have anything else to do, but practice for hatching because we had like a project coming up on that, and we were doing some shapes. I think it was like a still life that we were doing. Oh, another exercise. Absolutely hate this one. Some more practice for the hatching project, and it was a still life, so she had like a bunch of tables set up and like we had to go and like pick a position. I didn't like actually move where I was sitting. I just did all of these randomly, but I already knew which one I was going to do. So these are all just thumbnails. I think we have to do like a minimum of 5. Some more practice, clothing folds, this is so annoying, guys. I actually hated this project with a burning passion because I can't do art if it's not colorful. Like, it's not fun for me then. And this is the still life. I think I might have posted this on my Instagram as like a story. We had to use like a Sharpie, and it wasn't like multiple sizes. It only came in one size. It was like the thin black Sharpies. I actually hated this. This sucked the life out of me, and I also don't love how it turned out. This is probably like before I did the actual project. More clothing fold practice. I think this was like for Inktober. So this was like during fall, so all the leaves were falling, and like we had to go to our backyards and collect them and then like trace them, and it was like a watercolor thing where we had to like layer a lot. Like this is like the first layer, and then after that you had to like keep on going deeper and deeper, and then like this is like the very last layer that we did. I think it looks pretty cool actually. I actually quite like it. Okay, I have beef with this project. So this project was one that we did like around Halloween, evidently. It wasn't like meant to be Halloween themed, but basically she gave us sheets of paper where it was like black, tan, and white, I think. And we had to like use the white one to create like a centerpiece for our thing. And I'm sorry guys, I had no idea on what to do, and I was like, oh, it's Halloween, let's draw a witch. This took forever to find something that had enough like positive and negative space balanced out. I have like these pumpkins and then grass, and this was like a pain to cut. But yeah. Oh my god, this is my favorite project ever, guys. Yes! Okay, I'm actually really proud of how this looks. This looks like really good even on camera. So this is like a ribbon project. Basically, she gave us each like these ribbons, like not in real life, she gave us ribbons, and I took the pink one, and basically we had to like draw it out and then color it, and then the background we had to like pick something off of Google that was like wrapping paper. Okay, it's like unusual for me to be this happy about my art, so let me have my moment. We had to like take notes on primary or like all the colors and like complementary and secondary and like what they all mean, and then some thumbnails for the upcoming project. This is like another warm-up that we did where you had to like take your marker, like make random like scribbles or whatever, and then you just had to like color it in randomly and make sure that no similar color was touching each other. I actually really like this, like it was really fun. I think we did it with Sharpie and watercolors. Okay, this was the project. This is the reference, or not exactly, but like that was the pattern that we were supposed to follow. I actually love how it came out. I definitely don't do abstract art like this often, but I think it looks really cute. Love how the orange contrasts with the blue, kind of looks like lava, but yeah, I really like it. Oh my god, this is actually terrifying. So we had to do like self-portraits as like our second to last project maybe. So this is like the self-portrait, except it literally looks nothing like me. To say I don't like this project. It was meant to be like contrasting colors, so I did like brown here and blue in the background, and then blue here and brown in the background. We had to do thumbnails, and basically like everyone had to bring in these toys, do like sketch it out, and then use tempera paints. This was the result of that. Yeah, so safe to say that definitely is not one of my favorites. Definitely something that I don't enjoy looking at. I will say part of the reason is because we did not have enough time to do this. I think we had like less than a week to do this whole thing, like the whole painting process at least. And if you've worked with tempera paints or like acrylics or whatever, you know it takes like a lot of layering, and especially if you're someone like me and you keep on redoing and undoing what you've been doing. It's a lot of work. So I think the duck looks a bit traumatized. It's okay. It was the last project though. I'm gonna be real. I had no hope after this, and I was like done, and she gave everyone like A+ anyways because everyone was rushing on their project. I think that's the last drawing from the sketchbook. Safe to say I have a lot that isn't filled up that I've been meaning to use, but I just haven't. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this section of the video. Hey guys, so this is the sketchbook that I used for my art class that I took this year, and the art class that I took this year wasn't like as focused on making sketchbook art like the previous one was. This one was like more primarily like doing finished illustrations using a variety of mediums. The sketchbook that I use is actually mainly for like just silly little like, I don't know, like designs, I guess, or like just doodles. So this is the very first drawing that I did. This wasn't actually an assignment. I think it was just like, oh yeah, like if you finish early then you can just like start doing something else. So I was drawing a Coke bottle for whatever reason. I think I was gonna like finish this and hand it in as extra credit, but I don't think I actually ever did. Moving on, we have some this is actually so funny because so many of these notes are like random. This is like me making up some like concept art for my self-portrait, because basically like even though it was a self-portrait and you could just like draw yourself, my teacher said that you had to like have some sort of like concept in a way, and so the concept that I ended up going for was basically me painting. The perspective is from the painting itself, so it's like there's gonna be like a blob of paint basically like going from there to there, and it's gonna be like I'm painting the viewer, if that makes sense. This was like landscape prep, and basically we had to like do these just from our imagination, and then this one we had to use like actual pictures, and this is like for a landscape project, and I was originally going to draw like this bridge sort of looking thing, but then I realized that was like actually really hard, and I didn't want to like become an architecture student for the day, so I decided to go against that, and instead we're drawing this. This probably doesn't make any sense, but you guys will see like later on when I show the actual finished art. These were like the thumbnail drawings that I did. I was like trying to figure out like how I wanted to position it. Random doodle. And then we got into perspective, and oh, that's interesting. I probably should have like added a sheet between these to prevent like the graphite from like transferring. That's fine. Anyways, this is like more perspective practice, and it was like we had to like make a full illustration. Moving on, I think I was getting bored, so I started drawing like food, like a hamburger and then a cupcake. Moving on, we have 2-point perspective, and again, we just had to like do like a finished illustration of like a city or like literally anything. So my 2 points are over there, horizon line, and then again, I added clouds and birds in the background. Oh my god, wait, I remember this. There was like AP testing going on or something, so they like sent everyone into like a different location. I remember I was like with my friend and we were like studying, or I was studying for chemistry, I think. I was like writing the relationships between like temperature, pressure, volume, and it was like so funny. And then we were like trying to draw Pokemon from memory, I think. That's my rendition of Pikachu, please ignore that. And then more food art, because that's like, I'm so hungry in school, guys, like it's bad. Whenever I'm hungry, I tend to draw food. Okay, and then the last perspective that we learned about was isometric perspective, which I haven't actually like done before, so it was like interesting to learn about. And I just drew this a house. It was like, you could see how much effort I lost from like the very first perspective drawing to this one, because there's like no detail in this. Like, bro, what is that tree? After that, we had to do some more thumbnail drawings for the actual perspective like drawing that we were going to be doing. So basically, I think I did like different thumbnails. I was gonna do a mix of this and this. I was basically gonna do like the composition of this, but then like make it so that I was like curving in like this. Again, it was like AP testing, so everyone was bored and me and my friend were drawing. That's the puffer fish and Jigglypuff. Oh my god, she was like, oh yeah, like you should design like a flame girl and like a water guy. So that's my flame girl and that's my water guy, and it's like oh yeah, that reminds me of like the movie, what's it called, Elemental, I think. I haven't actually been watching any of the latest Disney movies, guys, because they kind of fell off, but yeah, enemies to lovers. And then okay, this is like when I was like trying to plan out what marker colors I need to use from, I accidentally left a lot of my markers at home, so then I was like trying to layer them and like blend them in a way where I would get a new color. It actually did work out pretty well though. And then we just have this random drawing of a girl looking into the distance from the back because I didn't want to draw her face. And then we move on to the exciting unit of figure drawing. These drawings are just gonna get progressively worse. This is like my very first time doing a figure drawing in like, I don't, like months, bro. It's been so long and it's so bad because I was trying to, this is like my very first attempt at using charcoal, and I didn't like realize you could blend it, and I don't know, I was very out of the place. But yeah, 20 minutes. After that, this one was 10 minutes, and it was just of like this girl holding a sword, and I was like trying to get rid of myself like stylizing it in a really heavy way because I wanted to make my figure drawings more realistic, which is something I struggled with. And this one was like the 5-minute pose, and then this one was 1 minute, and interesting. This one was 30 seconds, even worse, and just brace yourselves, it somehow gets even worse. Because what is this? Oh my god, I'm like physically cringing. This is the 10-second one, by the way. Moving on, I was doing some more. We have this one. I think I spent like 5 minutes on this and this, and it was just like makeup work because I was like out sick and I had to like make it up to get like credit for assignments. Again, 5 minutes. I was doing the bare minimum here. You can really tell. But yeah, that was like it for the sketchbook. We honestly didn't do much with the sketchbooks. Most of it was literally just like the full like complete illustrations. The sketchbooks were mainly used for thumbnails. But yeah. Hi guys. So, oh my god, I literally can't fit all of this on frame. The first thing that we did was make this sort of portfolio where we could keep all of our art, and this was like really introductory. It was like a 2 or 3 day project, and he said that wasn't going to be worth that much. So basically for my portfolio, I decided to draw a cottage, a house, I don't even know. I mainly used colored pencils to color everything, and then on the sides, I think I was going to color these, but I didn't. I don't know why, but they're like these little strawberries on vines. Pretty cute. This is basically where we stored all of our art, and now this is like a still life. It was the very first drawing that we did, and it was using acrylics, like I said earlier. Definitely not one of my favorites, I have to say. Mainly because, I don't know, I feel like usually I'm not very used to using paint, so it was kind of like difficult for me in a way. I did like decent on like blending, I guess, but the only thing that I dislike is that like each different piece doesn't really look like it comes together, especially this is like way too neon. But I feel like each separate piece of this like still life kind of looks like they belong to different paintings and like they're all different styles, but yeah. Moving on, this is another painting that we did. It's like a landscape, and basically we had to like use one of like a picture that we took like when we were on vacation or like literally anything as like a reference. It's watercolor, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. And then I think I used like white gel pen to add in like a lot of details with the waves here. Not my favorite. I feel like I'm gonna say that for every piece, and I feel so bad because I feel like they do look good, but I feel like I could have done so many things better. This is the next drawing that I did, and this is the perspective drawing or art that I was talking about. If you noticed, I got to use markers, and markers, they're literally my favorite medium ever. I love markers. I don't know, I feel like when I was doing this piece, I just had so much fun because I didn't have to focus on making it look good. I was just more focused on enjoying the process because like I'm really comfortable with using markers, so I don't have to worry about like, oh, like what's this color gonna look like against this one, or like, oh, is this gonna blend well? Like, it was very easy. Okay, I think this was just like sub work. I think my teacher was out for a couple of days, so he like assigned this, and oh my god, it looks very different on camera compared to like in real life. But basically these are like little, like, you guys know those scratch art things where like if you scratch them underneath it's like rainbow and you can like, I don't know, I feel like, did anyone else use those as a kid? Those are so much fun. This is like the same concept except underneath it's just like silver and it comes out like this, and as you can see when you shine it in like different lights, like the lighting really affects how it looks. And right now it looks like I have a really shiny highlight on my nose. Basically we were meant to like look at like a mirror and then just draw our eyes based off of that. So this is like day one, it was just like practice, and I think this is the very first one that I did. This one was like more stylized, so I like had more fun with it, and then this was the final one. And then this is like the actual thing that I had to submit for the assignment, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cute. It was nice to do, it was very fun. I am missing one art piece because it was actually, it's like hung up somewhere. I don't know where it's hung up actually, but basically it's like a self-portrait, and he like hung it up, my teacher hung it up somewhere. I think I'm getting it back like sometime next year. But now we're moving on to the last, I don't know, like home stretch, I guess, of what we did. I'm gonna try finding these in chronological order. Hold on. Basically this is like some charcoal study practice. I think you guys saw the other one in my sketchbook, but these are like ones that I did with charcoal on like this newspaper type thing, and basically all my classmates had to go up and we had to like pose for 5 minutes each using these props, and it was actually really funny because no one wanted to do it. So yeah, it was definitely an experience. Can't say I enjoyed when I had to go up, but yeah. I think this is also like my first or second time using charcoal, like for figure drawings. Okay, and then we have this drawing, basically a model from like, she was a student from like another class of my teachers, and she came in and volunteered to model for our class for like the entire class period, which, oh my god guys, modeling is actually so hard. Like, she had to stay in this position for like an hour maybe, and that's like actually genuinely insane because my muscles would cramp up so bad. Again, I did this with charcoal. I also used like white charcoal pencil, I think. I think I do like how I like got the rough shape of it down. I do think I like was starting to learn how I could stylize with charcoal more. Like, some parts are fully blended while other parts are like still more scratchy in a way. Charcoal is definitely like very fun to use, I have to say. Oh, okay, wait, I think I'm gonna keep it horizontally. Basically this is another full class drawing session. This is like for an hour, maybe an hour 25. Basically she's like sitting on the table on a chair, and we have to draw her again using charcoals. Apparently we were supposed to use color, and I didn't know that, so I just used regular charcoal. I drew like the entire background, which I think again is improvement. It's definitely very messy towards like this area, but I don't know, I think I like it. It's outside of my comfort zone, and I think I also had like fun doing it because charcoal isn't something that I generally use a lot, and I find that I have a lot more fun when I'm using art materials that I don't regularly use. So yeah. We have some more figure studies. This is basically, again, my classmates like went up and they modeled in like standing on the tables, and we had to draw them. Honestly, I don't think I was having my best art drawing day, I guess, because this is like the first drawing and I was like, oh yeah, like this is going well, like I think I'm getting to the hang of it, and then I don't know what happened for these 3 figures. It was just kind of like, oh, like where'd my motivation go? Because I genuinely think I gave up on all these. This was like the very last full drawing or full class like drawing thing that we did. Again, another model came in and posed for our class, and yeah, this one was the one where I had to use color because I didn't use it for when I was drawing my previous art teacher. I think the one thing that I did kind of struggle with was like figuring out how to do darker values versus lighter values, because for the lighter values I just straight up used white. For the darker ones, like her shirt, I think I was like using a mix of like black charcoal and then mixing it in with like the tan one that I was using as like the base. So but yeah, I think I really like how I did like the skirt shading though. That's pretty cool. So for my school's like final schedule, even if we just have like an extracurricular class like art or something, we still have to go into that class for the final. So we just went in and he's like, oh yeah, like you guys can just draw whatever. Like it had to be like it had to be like a figure drawing, it had to be like perspective art or like landscape, like something that we've done before. Again, it's like way more stylized than it was probably supposed to be, but we're not gonna talk about that. I think that's actually like pretty much it for my portfolio this year. So thank you guys so much for watching like till the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.